So just finding that comfortable lying position, just start to draw your attention inwards. So just coming away from whatever you've been doing this morning and just come into your practice. So perhaps closing the eyes down and noticing your breath. So just being aware of the breath, just moving in and out through your nose. Being aware of the belly expanding and contracting. As the breath starts to smooth out, then just notice your body, just how it feels this morning. Maybe starting to direct your breath to any areas that you feel are particularly tight. Try and relax your jaw. Allow your eyes to soften. And allow the body to relax down towards the mat. And then just as the body starts to feel heavy, just notice how you feel. Just simply allowing the thoughts that you're having just to come and go. So try not to grab onto anything, but just allow them to pass. So we're on to the fourth limb of our 8 limbs of yoga. And the fourth limb is Pranayama. Pranayama is the practice of breath regulation. So it's the main component of yoga, so it's even more important than our asana. And in Sanskrit, prana means life energy, and yama means control. So the practice of pranayama involves breathing exercises and patterns. So we're going to start with one today, which is called Dirga, and it's our 3-part breath. So you can follow this either just with your mind, or you can follow it with your hands as well. So just whatever feels best here. But we'll start just in this reclined butterfly. Maybe you could start by taking one of your hands just to the center of your chest, so just slightly beneath your collarbones. And we're breathing in and out through the nose, so start to breathe into your hand, so feeling the breath moving towards the upper part of your chest. And allow it to be smooth. And allow it to deepen. Again, you can follow this with your mind, or if you want, you could take your hands. Now maybe using both hands, so just either side of your rib cage, just gently cup your rib cage and allow your shoulders to drop down towards your back. And then start to breathe a little bit more deeply and feel the rib cage now expanding. So inhaling and exhaling. So filling up your ribs with air. And then from there, you can move your hands down to your lower belly. So either one hand or both hands. So just beneath your belly button now. And then start to breathe into your hands there. So inhaling all the way down to your low belly. And then try and empty your breath all the way out again. So you can either keep your hands here or release them. But on an inhale, if you think belly, ribs, chest. And on the exhale, think chest, ribs, belly. And then we're just going to keep this breath going. So we're just going to keep it moving. We'll use the hands now, just gently draw the knees back towards the center. And if you pull just your right knee in towards your chest, so you can take your hands on top of that knee if you want. You can either keep your left foot on the ground or you could extend through your left leg. If you're extending through your left leg, you might want to flex your foot a little bit and just lift it off the ground, but it's up to you. And just start to draw that right knee in a little bit. You can even kind of wiggle side to side here, so you could move your right knee over towards one shoulder and then the other, if that feels good. Just loosening off in your hip a little. And keep the breath as it was, so keep it in that third gas, so we're breathing deeply all the way into your belly. And then bring the knee back to the center. Now, for the next one, we're just going to take the sole of your foot and you're going to move it as if you're moving it up towards the ceiling, but we're keeping the leg really bent here. So you can either take the hands behind the back of that thigh and just draw it in. If you can move your foot up a little bit further and take your hand behind the back of your calf or your ankle. And if you can manage, you could even grab hold of the bottom of your right foot. But again, just work where it feels right. And you might want to bend your left leg in now if you feel that that feels a little bit better. But we're just opening up through the hip. If you can, try and get your right elbow kind of to the inside of your right knee so you can just gently press out to the side as well. But again, just go with what feels right. And if your breath starts to change because it's too much, then listen to that and back it off a little bit. And just breathe into the sensation of the stretching through your hip and through your leg. Okay, take one more deep inhale. If you've got your left leg bent, you might want to extend it out now. Release the hands and bring them back on top of that knee. But we're going to just use your left hand this time. And you're going to draw that right knee over to the left side. Stretch your right arm away from you and try and press down through that right shoulder. And just coming in for a little bit of a twist. So again, you can go further or hold back a little bit. Just whatever feels right. Take one more deep inhale and slowly make your way back towards the center. And you can just lengthen that right leg just along the ground, so it just meets up with the left one. So we'll do the same thing on the other side. So drawing that left knee in first of all, just take your hands on top of the knee, maybe extend and lengthen through your right leg so you flex your foot as if you're kind of pushing away gently just to stretch out through that leg as well. Now if that feels too much, just bend that right knee and place your right foot on the ground. So drawing the left knee in a little bit, maybe move it side to side. And then coming back to a position of stillness. So again, you might want to now bend through that right leg. Start to point your sole of your foot in that left leg as if it's coming up towards the ceiling. So you could take the hands behind the back of the thigh and just hold it there. The leg is bent, so it's not really a hamstring stretch, but it's coming more into the hip. If you want to take your hands further up, you could take your left hand just to the calf or the ankle, or if you can grab hold of the foot, you can even grab the big toe here if you want to just start to pull that thigh down towards the side of your body. And again, using that left elbow, just gently push out to the side a little bit. And if you want to extend away through the right leg, if that feels right, then do that. And always come back to the breath. So as soon as the breath starts to lose that focus, that control, then you want to come back and revisit it and just settle it down again. You take one more deep inhale And then slowly release the hands. So again, bring them back onto the knee, but we're just going to use the right hand this time. So you might want to extend your right leg away if it's not already away. Grab hold of that knee and start to pull it over towards the right. So again, extend your left arm and try and press down through your left shoulder. So we're not lifting the left shoulder up. Just coming into the twist to wherever it feels right. Take one more deep inhale, and then slowly come back towards the center. So this time we'll draw both knees in towards your chest. We'll take the hands around the back of your thighs, and we're just going to make our way up to sitting. So you could roll a couple of times, just forwards and back. And then just when you're ready, start to make your way up. So we're going to sit in Sukhasana, just our easy pose. We're going to do another little bit of breathing here when we come in. So if you want to sit in a block or something, you could. We will be doing a little bit of twisting, but not too much. So you could easily sit in a block. Relax your arms down by your side, so relax the shoulders. And again, you could close the eyes or open them, it's up to you. Try and lengthen through the top of your head, lengthen through your spine. Okay, as you inhale here, we're just going to reach the arms up, so just a big stretch up through the side body. And then on the exhale, bring the hands all the way back down by your sides. So again, breathing in and out through your nose. So inhale, big reach up. And as you exhale, releasing back down. Okay, we'll do that one more time. So inhale, reaching up through the sides. As you exhale, we're going to come in for a twist. So we'll take your left hand onto your right knee and then take your right hand behind you. So fingertips on the ground. And just a gentle twist. Okay, take one more deep inhale here. And then slowly take that right hand. And we're going to take the right hand all the way over towards your left knee. So we're coming in to a little bit of a kind of seated cat-cow. So you're going to round your back a little bit, draw your belly in, maybe drop your head down if that feels okay. And just using the knees there to stretch out through the shoulders. So there are 4 characteristics of the breath. The first one is placement. And that just really means where we breathe into, where we direct our breath. And when we're practicing yoga, we should be directing it to where we feel the stretch the most. So try that now as you stretch across your shoulders, just breathe into your shoulders. Take one more deep inhale. And then slowly release the hands, but keep the cross on your arms. Lift the arms up. Now you might just take your hands here and just grab hold of opposite shoulders. Or if you want to come in for that bind, then align the arms. Come in for, whatever grip you can get. And then once you've got it, start to lift your elbows up. So the elbows are coming level with your shoulders. And then move your hands back a little bit so the hands kind of line up with your wrists. And breathe into that. So another aspect or characteristic of the breath is time. And that just means how long your breath is. So it's both the inhale and the exhale. And we want to try and keep it as long as we can. And certainly it shouldn't become ragged as we're practicing. Okay, take one more deep inhale. Slowly release what you've got there. You might want to release your arms down and give them a little shake. So with the hands just down by your sides again, inhale back up. As you exhale, we'll come in and twist the other way. So just slowly rotate in the other direction. So left fingertips behind you, just using that right hand to gently draw yourself round as you lengthen through your spine. The third aspect or characteristic of the breath is texture. So we often talk about the texture of the breath, but it's just really how it feels. Is it smooth or is it quite ragged? And again, you should just be noticing that as you practice. Take one more breath. And then this time taking your left hand, so all the way over to that right knee. Draw your belly in, round your shoulders a little bit, and maybe drop your head down. And just breathe into that. And notice these things. Notice the time. Notice the length of your breath. Notice the texture of your breath. And the last one is intensity. So intensity just means how deep your breath is. Take one more deep inhale. And then slowly release the hands. Again, keep that crossed. Maybe just bring your hands just onto your shoulders. And you can just hold there. You could lift the elbows up a little bit. Or release the hands and come in for that wrap. So again, taking hold of your forearm or your hand. Start to gently raise the elbows up. Maybe draw the hands back a little bit in these Garudasan arms. And the breath is a good indicator of when we've gone too far, you know, or when we've not gone far enough. So sometimes if our breath is kind of really slow and not really active, when we're doing an active part of the class, then you would want to kind of work a little bit harder. Okay, take one more deep inhale. And then when you're ready, slowly start to unravel your arms again. When you come in, maybe give your arms a little shake off. Okay, so from here, we'll come over to all fours. So just taking your time as you come in. Maybe spread your hands underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Now from here, you're going to lift up through your right leg. Keep your foot bent. We're going to work through the hip again, so we're going to warm up through the hip a little bit more. So without leaning too much into one arm, start to circle the knee round. And you can make this quite big, maybe coming all the way in towards that elbow, but you know, where it feels right. If it doesn't feel that right, then don't make it as big. Okay, we'll change direction, so just moving in the opposite way. Again, trying to keep your hands fairly even, your belly pulled in. Good. And then from here, we're just going to step your right foot all the way up to the top. So just take your time stepping it through. Now, when you step it through, I want you to move it to the outside of your right hand and bring your hands into the middle. You could slide back a little bit through your left leg. And if you've got blocks, you might want to grab them here as well. You don't have to necessarily. We're going to come in for this lizard pose. So on an inhale, if you lift up your toes on your right leg, and then if you want to, you can drop the knee kind of out to the side. I don't know if you can see that, but you lift the toes up and then the knee kind of drops out. You don't have to do that, but if you want to, kind of gives you a little bit more space. So either stay here, or you could start to move down. So again, if you've got blocks, you could just have the blocks underneath your hands and then lower yourself to your elbows, for example. Again, you do not have to do any of that, and just listening to your breath, noticing your body will tell you as well. You know, it'll give you a warning that you've gone too far. As we're doing pranayama, we'll be listening to our breath today. And then when you get there, wherever you've got to, try and use your breath to smooth it out a little bit. Try and use your breath to relax and to move in. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. We'll start to move back up onto your hands, so take your time as you move up. You might want to pop your toes back down. Now this is a little bit of a tricky transition, but we're going to kind of kickstand your left foot. So your left foot moves in, and then you're going to straighten out through that right leg. So I don't know if you saw that. So my left foot was behind, because that was the knee that was down. I'm going to kickstand my left leg in, and then straighten the right leg out. And then you come into this kind of half version of gate pose. And again, you can stay here. You can even grab a block and you could even come up a bit higher if you feel it's better for you. Please work where it feels right. However, if you want to, we're going to turn it a little bit towards the right foot. I'm going to walk out on a diagonal. And again, if that doesn't feel right, then don't do it. If you feel you get that stretch through the inner thigh up in this position here, then you're going to stay there. If you want to, you can walk a little bit towards the right foot, stretch your hands forwards, and you'll get a little bit more of that stretch. Good, and just relax. You take one more deep inhale. Start to walk your hands back in, so walk them back in. And then you're going to turn around on that left knee, rebend your right leg, and just come back in. So we're just in the same position. So this time we'll have one hand either side of your front foot. Tuck your toes under on the back leg, lift through that back leg so the knee comes off the ground. Step to plank. Lower down so you could lower your knees. We're going to go all the way to the mat this time. Flatten out in your feet. Inhale, lift the chest, so coming up just a cobra. And on the exhale, release back down. As you inhale, push back up, so just to that all fours position. Walk your knees in. So we're going to do the same thing on the left leg. So when you're ready, we'll lift the left leg up. So again, flex your foot a little. And then start to circle the knee round. Again, moving to any degree. I'm just going to turn around so that you can see what's going on when you get to that tricky bit. And then start to change direction. So make sure you're not kind of collapsing, you're not leaning on one side, you're keeping the belly in with a little bit of support. And then just when you're ready, we're going to step that left foot up towards the top of your mat. So again, to the outside of your left hand, so the hands in the center. And you can just stay here. So you might slide your leg back a little bit. If that sensation that you get when you're there is enough for you, then you're going to stay there. If you want a little more, you could walk the foot out a little bit, lift your left toes up, maybe tilt a little bit through that left knee so it drops out to the side, and maybe start to lower down. So again, you could grab blocks. If that is enough, you stay there. If you want to lower down to your elbows, then release there. And it may take a moment or two for your body to adjust, so you might not straight away get in to anything, but maybe after a moment or two, maybe after using your breath, maybe then something will change, and maybe it won't. You just have to be prepared for both. Okay, when you're ready, slowly, again, if you're on your elbows, start to walk yourself back up again. If you've got your toes up, place them down. Maybe walk the foot in just a little bit. And then again, kickstand that left leg out to the side. So you're just taking it out to the side, right leg, sorry. And then extend to your left leg. So you're just taking the toes away in that nice straight leg. So your hands can be round to the front. You could come up a little bit higher if you feel that that's better for you, onto blocks. And then if you want to, we're going to walk round just towards, we're not going directly towards that, we're kind of on a diagonal, but away from your bent leg, and then walk your hands out. And again, you're in charge of it. So if you want to go further, you go further. If you don't want to go as far, don't go as far. But when you get there, try to relax. Okay, when you're ready, slowly come back up with the hands. So just make your way back to the center first of all. And then again, we'll come into that left leg. So coming towards it, bend it. And then come back round. So you're just coming back in to that low lunge position this time with the foot in the middle of your hands. When you're ready, tuck the toes under on the back leg, so lift your back knee. Step back to plank. Lower your knees if you'd like. Bend your elbows and lower down. Flatten out your feet. And as you inhale, lift the chest and draw the shoulders down your back. As you exhale, release back down towards the ground. On the inhale, push back up, so onto your knees, and walk the knees in. When you come in, we'll spread the hands, and then we'll take a few cat-cows here. So just on your inhale, drop your belly and pull your chest forwards. And on the exhale, just rounding in. So do that again, just in your own time. Well done, just one more time. And then just come back in, just to a more kind of neutral position. From here, we'll push to our first downward facing dog. So we're going to tuck the toes under, maybe walk your hands forward a bit and lift your hips up. So you could move your feet, bend your legs, whatever feels right to you. So push up and out of your hands, try and press up and out of your shoulders and really draw the belly in to lift the hips higher. And bend the knees a lot if you need to. Okay, take one more deep inhale here. We are going to step to the front with your right leg. You could always lower your knees down first if you want to. Otherwise, step your right foot forward. And again, even when you get here, you could lower down through that back knee if you wish. Now with the hands either on the ground or a block, as you inhale, we're going to start to very gently straighten the front leg. So you might not fully straighten it, doesn't matter. And then as you exhale, just re-bend that leg. So again, you could do this with the back knee down, just straightening the front leg and re-bending it, if that feels better to you. And we'll do that one more time, so just very gently, just straightening that leg. Good. Okay, now with the front leg, either bent or straight, doesn't really matter, but we're going to walk the hands to the inside of your front foot and then walk it round towards the front. So we are coming in for a wide leg forward fold, so your leg will probably straighten when you come round. If you want your hands higher, then bring them higher up the leg. Try and make sure your toes are turning in a little bit. The knees can be bent, the arms might kind of just dangle down, or you could support them on your legs. If your hands are down towards the ground, then you could walk them back a little bit. And again, just a stretch through the hamstrings, the back of the thighs, the belly's pulled in, and watch your breath. Okay, on an inhale here, we're going to come up halfway, so you're just going to lengthen through your spine, so you might want to walk your hands forward. Now we're going to move side to side here, so we'll move over towards the right, so just bend over towards your right leg, and then if you can, you could pull your toes up on that left leg. On an inhale, we'll move back up into the centre, and then take it over to the other side, so sink down through your hips, again to any degree here. Do that again, so inhale, come on up, and exhale, move over, and you might feel you get a little bit deeper, but don't worry about it. So inhale up, and exhale over. We'll do that one more time, so inhale up, and exhale over. So we're going to settle at this side. So again, you might be higher, it doesn't really matter. You could have your hands on the ground. You might want to sink down a little bit lower. It just depends where your hips are at and what it feels like. We're not going to stay here terribly long, don't worry. Take one more deep inhale. And then when you're ready, we'll slowly come all the way back over towards that left side, and we'll come all the way round towards the front again. So just coming back in. When you're ready, step back to downward facing dog. Inhale forwards to a plank position. This time you could lower to the ground, or you could take Chaturanga, so just lower halfway. Inhale up, and exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Good, so we're going to do that with the other side. So again, you could lower your knees first and then step forward, or step your left foot up towards the top of your mat. So again, your back knee could lower, it's up to you. Hands on blocks or on the floor. And as you inhale, start to slowly straighten your front leg. On the exhale, rebend it. So do that again, so inhale, straighten the leg. And exhale. Okay, do that one more time. So again, just very gently, you don't have to fully straighten it. Excellent. Okay, so from here, with the front leg straight or bent, you're going to walk your hands round towards the middle. Excuse my back, and then come back in for that wide leg forward fold. So again, toes forwards, toes turning in a little bit, knees bent. And try and relax into it. So relax through the legs a little bit, although you're using the legs a lot here. Try and relax them. Okay, so we'll move side to side again. So when you're ready, on an exhale, we'll just bend over towards one side. So again, pulling the toes up, maybe on that other side. Inhale, come up, and exhale, move over to the other side. So do that again. So inhale, lift, and exhale, sink a little bit deeper. Good. Inhale up, and exhale. Excellent. So we're going to come over to the other side. So the one that you've not done, you're not stayed in, move over to it. Hope I'm not confusing you with sides, but as long as you're doing the other one, then that's fine. So again, come up a little bit higher. If you feel it's better for you, hands to the ground, maybe flex that foot, sink your hips. Chest up though, and belly pulled in. Well done. Take one more deep inhale. And then we'll slowly turn towards the front of your mat again. So again, just turning on the toes of that back leg. Good, step back, downward facing dog. Inhale forwards to plank. Lower to Chaturanga on the floor. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Maybe take a deep breath in through your nose. Maybe take a cleansing breath this time out your mouth. Just letting go of anything that you don't need. Okay, on your next inhale, we'll lift both heels. We're going to take a slow walk with your feet up towards your hands. So just coming up towards the top. Let the upper body just fold forwards. Let the arms just angle. And then we're just going to clasp the hands just behind your back, just gently. Lift the arms up and over a little. Keep the elbows soft. Well done, bend the knees. And again, move the hands, so you move the arms away from your back just to stretch your shoulders. Okay, release both hands all the way down. Inhale here, lengthen forward, so come up halfway. So stretch through your spine here. Exhale, folding back in. Inhale, reach up. And on the exhale, draw the palms towards your heart. Maybe closing your eyes down, just noticing how you feel. So breathing in and out through your nose. So we're going to practice a little bit of our Ujjayi breath, and we're going to try and use it through a couple of our sun salutations. So we'll start first of all just with hands towards your chest. So just inhaling, and you can close the eyes or open them, it's up to you. Inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your nose. So you might just stay with just this long, deep breath in and out through your nose. The Ujjayi breath, we add texture. So we add the texture to the back of your throat. So inhale and exhale. So we create a little bit of sound through our Ujjayi breath, which helps to concentrate our mind, helps to keep the rhythm of the movement when we move through any flowing kind of practice. Now keep that, release your hands down by your sides. As you inhale, just reach the arms up. And on the exhale, just bring the hands back down by your sides. So do that again, so inhale up. And exhale. Now this time, if you want to, you could lift up. So you're coming up onto your toes. So as you inhale, lift up. You might want to open your eyes. And exhale, release back down. So do that again, so inhale. So maybe with that Ujjayi breath, maybe just with a long, slow breath. Do that one more time. Okay. And maybe just with the hands down by your sides, relax the shoulders down your back, turn the palms forward a little bit. Coming into our Tadasana, so our mountain pose. And we'll move through a couple of sun salutations here using that breath. Again, modify them in any way that you want to. So when you're ready, as you inhale, reach up with the arms. Exhale, fold forwards towards your legs. Lengthen on the inhale. And on the exhale, we'll step to plank and lower down in your own way. Inhale, upward facing. And exhale, press back, downward facing dog. Keep the quality of the breath as you move through the flow and work at your own pace. On your next inhale, lift your heels, look to your hands and either step or walk towards the top of your mat. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, fold back in. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, palms meet the heart. Inhale, reach. Exhale, fold forwards. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, step back and lower down. Inhale up. And exhale, press back. Downward facing dog. Okay, from here, on your next inhale, we're going to lift through your right leg and we're going to step your right foot up towards the top. So we're coming into high lunge this time. So again, take your time coming up out of it. So inhale, pull the belly in. Maybe reach your arms up if you can. So from here, we're going to come into a balance. We're going to come into our dancer. Again, you can come up into any way, but if you want to join me, we're going to bring the hands towards your chest first of all. And we're going to step your left foot up towards the top of your mat to a knee lift. So we step the left foot up, we lift it to a knee lift. And when you do that, try and then align your knees so your back foot kind of points out to the back a little bit. So you could just stay here, okay, if that feels okay for you. You could start to bend that left leg and grab hold of either the inside or the outside of your left foot. And again, you might just stay here. You also might want to reach forwards and up a little bit with your right hand. And then we press the foot into the hand. And as we do that, try not to lean forward too much. Think more about kind of stretching forwards as you push your foot into your hand. And it's a little bit of a back bend as well. Again, you could use a wall or anything here, very nice. Okay, we'll take one more deep inhale. And then we'll slowly just start to release that. So you can release the hand, release the foot. Bring your hands together, just in front of your chest. And just notice how that side of your body feels. And again, feel free to modify any of these postures. Okay, we'll come back in, we'll do the other side. So inhale, reach with your arms. Exhale, fold forwards towards your legs. Inhale, lengthen. And as you exhale, we'll step to plank and lower down. Again, you could skip this. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, press back. Downward facing dog. So again, when you get there, we're going to step forwards with your left leg. So you can lift it up first if you like. Step your left foot up towards the top of your mat. So again, you could stay here and maybe just lower the back knee and lift the hands up and come into our dancer in any way. Otherwise, as you inhale, lift up to that high crescent lunge position. So the Natrajasana is the dancer posture. So when you're ready, we'll bring the hands to your heart. Again, you can step to the top first and then bend your leg. If you can, press through your front leg and lift through that back knee. The right knee lifts. And then maybe take the right leg so that it kind of pushes back. So you've got the leg still bent, but the foot is behind you. And then this time, bending into that leg, take hold of it with your right hand. So maybe inside or outside. Reach up and slightly forwards with your left hand. And then start to push the foot into the hand. The body will go forwards a little bit, but you're not going for horizontal here. So it's not like warrior 3. And it's more kind of the back bend that you're trying to get. Good, very nice. Lovely. Okay, take one more deep inhale. And then slowly start to release the hands and the legs down. Bring your hands towards your chest and breathe. Well done. Okay, we'll release the hands, we'll open the eyes. So we'll come in, we'll do a few standing postures now, not too many today, but if you start at the top of your mat again, we'll step back with your right leg. So we're going to step back to warrior 2 today. So if you step back into a warrior 2 position, again, because you're standing, you can just adjust your feet. You might want to align that heel with the inner part of your leg. Good, relax the shoulders and maybe then start to lift the arms up. And adjust where you need to adjust. So sink into either towards your front leg or your back leg, but with a balance. So you want to try and keep that sense of balance. Okay, pull back on your front knee, draw your back hip under. Very nice. And maybe look along your front hand. Okay, so from here, we're going to move into Trikonasana. So we're going to lengthen through your front leg, so straighten out a little bit, and then lengthen forward. So stretching as far as you can, releasing down towards your leg or a block or the floor, and reach straight up with your top hand. So again, draw the shoulder back, pull back a little bit with your hip. And imagine you're kind of scissoring the legs together and adjust your arm position so that it feels better to have your arms so it's dropping behind your back, for example. Then do that. And listen to your breath. So see how it feels. Does it still feel long and smooth? Are you still directing the breath towards the areas of this posture that challenge you? Are you still using your Ujjayi breath? Okay, take one more deep inhale and slowly start to rise back up again. Good. Okay, from here, we'll keep the legs straight. We're going to release the hands and we're going to step in a little bit with your back leg because we're coming in for Parasuttanasana. So front leg straight, back leg steps in, turn on the toes of your back leg, and the hips and the shoulders are now forward towards that front leg. Now we're going to keep your hands on your hips here. Lift your chest, pull your belly in, and as you inhale, just slowly move forwards. Good, we're going to come back up again. So pull your belly in, start to rise back up. Now, if that felt okay, this time when you come forward, you're going to reach forwards through the same arm as your leg. So reaching forwards through that arm. And then when you're ready, start to come back up. So really lengthen forwards. Now change hands, so do the other arm. So reach it up. Again, reach forward. So keep it in line with your ear as you're reaching forward. So we're not dropping the arm down, but when you come forward, so we're keeping it in line with that ear. So it's an extension, if you like, of your body. Come back up. Now, if all of that felt okay, you're going to come forward with both arms. If it didn't, take your hands to your hips and come forward. So lengthen forward with both arms. So stretching through your spine. Good. And you don't have to come all the way down, just to where it feels right. And then, maybe if you want to, release the hands down. So the hands could come to your leg. They may come down towards the ground. But again, you're just going to work where you can, where it feels right. Still draw the inner thighs in. Still watch that hip on the front leg. So you want to really draw it in rather than allowing it to collapse out. Okay, take one more deep inhale. And then slowly just start to bend your front leg. Good. And then step back into a low lunge. Well done. From there, we're just going to do a little twist. So we'll keep your right hand on the ground, reach up and open through that left arm. Okay, take one more deep inhale. Slowly release both hands down towards the ground. And then just bend in your back leg. If you've got it on the ground, you might want to lift it. And then step up towards the top of your mat. As you inhale, pull your belly in and start to roll up. So kind of like you're a rag doll. So you're rolling all the way up to the top. Kind of restacking your body as you go. Inhale, reach. And exhale, palms be the hand. Okay, we'll come back in. We'll do the other side. So again, start with your feet, maybe hip distance. And Stasana, relax your shoulders. And this time we'll step back with your left leg to warrior two. So stepping into that warrior two position, make any adjustments to your feet and see how it feels. Does it feel differently when you do that as to when you step forwards? So take the time to work your feet and your legs and then start to add the upper body. Drawing the shoulders back, looking along the front hand. And we want to sink through the middle of the posture, not in a kind of collapsing way, but in a controlled way. Good, well done, very nice. And keep pulling that front knee back a little bit. Okay, take one more deep inhale. And we'll start to slowly straighten through that front leg. So again, we're coming in for Trikonasana, so lengthening forwards, releasing the hand down towards the block or the floor, reaching straight up with the top hand, maybe looking up if it feels okay. To draw the shoulder back, draw the hip back a little bit. And just notice your breath. Okay, take one more deep inhale. Start to move back up. So slowly rise back up again. Again, we'll keep the legs straight. We'll release the hands and we'll step in with your back foot. So step it in a little bit. Turn the toes and then turn your body towards your front leg. So hands towards your hips. Pull your chest back. Lift through your belly. Deep inhale. Start to move forward. So lengthen through your spine. So don't worry about how low you're getting down, but try and lengthen. And then when you're ready, slowly start to come back up. So only if that felt okay, so you can always keep your hands here, you're going to reach forward with your right arm. So maybe reach it up first and then lengthen forward. So keep it as an extension of your body and not too far down. Slowly start to come back up. So release that hand. Again, if it felt okay, maybe start with the other one. So lift it up. And then lengthen yourself forward. Keep working through the inner thighs and the legs and the feet. And then slowly come back up. Good, so only if it felt okay. Both arms up this time. And then lengthen yourself forwards. And then if it feels okay, you could release your hands down. So maybe to your leg, maybe to blocks, maybe towards the floor. But keep working the inner thighs together. Keep pulling that right hip towards the center of your body. Well done. One more deep inhale. And then slowly start to bend your front leg. Turn on the toes of your back leg and come into that lunge. And just to loosen it all off, we're doing this little twist. So we'll have your left hand down, right arm either on the knee or maybe reach it up. Well done. Slowly release that hand back down. This time we'll just step back to a plank position. Lower your knees to the ground. And then just allow yourself to relax back in a child's pose. So arms by your sides, drop the belly down towards your legs, drop the head down. And just notice your breath here. Okay, when you're ready, slowly just come back up again, just onto your knees first of all. And then from here, we're going to come up onto kind of high knees. So you're going to have your hands in front. So we're going to do a little kind of a frog position here. So we're going to step out with your left leg. And then if you can, you're going to move that right leg out to the side a little bit. And you can take the inside part of your right foot to the ground if that feels okay. If it doesn't, keep it flat. But if you can, turn it out to the side. So we're getting a strong stretch through your inner thighs. Try and align this leg so it's not like further back or further forwards, but it's in line with your hips. And you can either stay here just on your hands. You could release yourself down towards blocks or the floor. And you can relax down if that feels okay. This is just a half kind of frog position to work the inner thighs a little bit. So work where you can, and again, notice your breath when you get there. So the breath has three aspects to it. So it has the inhale. It also has a retention, which we may or may not be aware of, and we can play about with that as well. With our breathing practice, we can play about retaining the breath. And then the exhale. And again, in its simplest terms, it's just in and out. But think about the little bit in the middle as well, as you sit here. You take one more deep inhale. Slowly start to come back up. So if you're on your arms, move yourself back up onto your hands. And then we'll walk that knee in. Maybe when it comes in, you might want to move your hips a little bit from side to side, so it's a little bit tight. And then we'll do the other side. So we'll stretch that right leg away. Again, you could be the inside of your foot there. You could turn maybe to the inside of your foot on that left leg if it feels okay. And you can widen it out to the side a little bit. You can stay here. You can release yourself down. Blocks on the floor. You could even go all the way down if you feel that you can manage that, but just whatever feels best. And try and align your hips. So try not to push back with your hips or forward. If the hips are kind of over your legs, then the gravity will help to press it down. Whereas if they're too far back, and you'll be able to feel that if you kind of move yourself a little bit, you'll feel where that gravity is, or the weight is, and you can adjust it slightly. And focus on your breath again. Maybe add a little bit of a breath retention. So just holding the breath, even for a second or two, and then let it go and just see how it feels. And if the breath starts to become ragged, then you've gone too far with your stretch. Okay, slowly when you're ready, start to come back up. So take your time moving up onto your hands. Walk that knee back in, maybe give your legs just a little bit of a shake about. And then we'll have a little seat. just on your bottom. So you can bring both legs in front. And we'll do a little forward fold here. So you can sit either on something. You could grab a strap if you want to. And as you inhale, just reach the arms up. And on the exhale, just folding in towards your legs. So relax the elbows. Notice your breath again. Maybe direct it if it feels tight. We'll take one more deep inhale. When you're ready, slowly start to come back up. So take your time. And we give your legs a little shake. So we are going to come back down to Shavasana now. So if you do want to pop some socks or jumpers on, we're going to do a little breathing meditation today. So just take your time coming in. Make sure you feel warm. So just finding a comfortable position first of all, and you can close your eyes if you'd like. Maybe roll your shoulders a little bit and lay them back down onto your mat. You can also lean your head from side to side, maybe lower your chin and release it back down towards the mat again. Relax your muscles. Start to observe your breathing. Just notice how your breath flows in and out. Make no effort to change your breathing in any way, but simply notice how your body breathes. Your body knows how much air it needs. In your mind's eye, see your breath flowing gently in and out of your body. When your attention wanders, as it will, just focus back again on your breathing. Notice any stray thoughts, but don't dwell on them. Simply let the thoughts pass. See how your breath continues to flow deeply, calmly. Notice the stages of a complete breath. From the in-breath to the pause that follows. The exhale and the pause before taking another breath. See the slight breaks between each breath. Feel the air entering through your nose. Picture the breath flowing through the cavities in your sinuses and then down to your lungs. As thoughts intrude, allow them to pass and return your attention to your breathing. See the air inside your body after you inhale, filling your body gently. Notice how the space inside your lungs becomes smaller after you exhale and the air leaves your body. Feel your chest and stomach gently rise and fall with each breath. Now as you inhale, count silently. 1. As you exhale, count. 1. Wait for the next breath and count again. 1. exhale. 1. Inhale. 1. Continue to count each inhalation and exhalation as 1. Notice how your body feels. See how calm and gentle your breathing is, and how relaxed your body feels. Now it's time to gently reawaken your body and mind. So we'll just take a deep inhale through your nose now, and then start to sigh out your mouth. And then just do that again, just in your own time. And then we'll start to move your fingers and your toes. Maybe stretching your arms overhead. Bring your arms back round. You could bend your knees now and keep your feet on the floor, or draw your knees in and just gently move side to side. Rolling onto your side if you feel you want to. And then we'll just start to make our way up. So just take your time. Keep your eyes closed. We'll just find a comfortable seat and draw the palms together in front of your heart. Just leaving a little gap just to signify an openness in your heart. Thank you so much for coming along and practicing with me this morning. I hope you enjoyed the pranayama practice that we did. Namaste. Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Any questions or comments, then just let me know. Otherwise, have a great week.
Thank you, Gillian.
Lovely. Thanks,
Really
Gillian. Lovely.
Thank you. See you later.
Thank you, that was great.
Bye, Rose.
Thank you.
Bye,
Bye.
girls.
Thanks, Gillian.
Bye. Thanks, Gillian. I really enjoyed that.
Thank you, girls.
Thank
See you later.
you. See you later.
Bye-bye.